Our unit is Resource Mobilization, HIV, AIDS and Gender Perspective. Let's start with resource mobilization, and we define it as the process of identifying and obtaining resources to help achieve organization goals and ensure sustainability. We have types of financial and non-financial supplies. One, we have man, which we have human, manpower and staff. Number two, we have money, that is funds, capital and physical cash. Number three, we have materials, that is equipment, machines, instruments and stationaries. We have purpose of resource mobilization. One of the purpose of resource mobilization is to create multiple sources of funding to increase organizational independence and flexibility to implement programs. Number two, to create efforts in using own local assets to gain support for the organizational goal. Resource reliance and external foreign funding, that is number three. We have resource mobilization sources. We have types. We have internal and external resources. We have multiple and bilateral organizations. We have government budget. We have NGOs, CBOs, that is the community-based organizations. We have FBOs. We have cooperative organizations. Internally generated funds. We have individual philanthropics and we have private sectors. We have resource mobilization process, and in that process we have clear problem statement, that is whereby you define exactly the problem, and we have design project interventions. We have strategies to obtain the resources. Those are basically the ways that are used to obtain such kind of the resources. And we have identify resources needed and sources of resources. We have resource mobilization strategies and the plan. Strategies, we have integration, we have letters for support, we have grant proposals. Those are the ways that you can use to gain these resources, either money or any other kind of the resources that we have seen earlier. Then we have the collaboration, we have synergy formation, we have partnership, alliance creation, be receptive, open discussion forum, be prepared organization, and then we have plan, we have problem definition, we have organizational analysis, that is the SWOT analysis. We have the stakeholder analysis, project design, resource analysis, resource acquisition strategy, and develop sustainability strategy. We have assessment, that is the strategy. Now we start with number one. We have assessment. In assessment, we have collect and analyze data to identify gender-based constraints and opportunities relevant to program objectives. Number two, we are planning, develop program objectives that strengthen synergy between gender issues and HIV goals, identify participants, clients and key stakeholders. Number three, we have the design that you are supposed to use, that is identify key programs, strategies to address gender-based constraints and opportunities. Then number four, we have the monitoring. We have developed indicators that measure gender-specific outcomes, monitor implementation and effectiveness in addressing program objectives. Then we have the last phase, we have measure impact of program on health and gender equity outcomes and adjust accordingly to enhance successful strategies. We have why is integrating gender into HIV programs important. Why is it important? Number one, We have understanding the unique needs of men and women, boys and girls, and other gender identities. Number 2, to identify target populations and dedicate resources where they are most needed. 3, to identify gender-related barriers such as norms, etc. We have next number 4, responding to the unique needs of men and boys, women and girls, and other gender identities. The last point on that, we have to improve program outcomes and enhance sustainability. What does it mean to integrate gender into HIV prevention, care, and treatment? This means responding to the unique needs of men and women, boys and girls, and other gender identities so they are equally able to 1. Access and utilize HIV prevention, care, and treatment services, initiate and practice health behaviors. Next, improve their health outcomes. Next point, live lives free from violence, stigma, and discrimination. Increase gender equitable access to income and productive resources, including education. We have number 1, providing economic opportunities. Number 2, to ensure that girls are given equal opportunities to attend schools, increase support for tuition fees, uniforms, and supplies, and or vocational training in marketable skills. Next point, working with government to develop policies that increase women access to economic resources, including credit. Programs to provide alternative income generation activities for sex workers. Provide gender equitable HIV prevention, care, and treatment. We have strong programs that promote evidence-based innovative strategies. Examples, we have programs that provide male-friendly HIV, AIDS, and reproductive health services to encourage men's participation in healthcare. We have design and implement targeted interventions to overcome barriers for MSM and transgender population. We have programs that integrate HIV/AIDS services into family planning and reproductive health clinics in order to facilitate women's access to services and a single location. We have meaningful participation of women, girls, and marginalized groups to effectively address their health needs. Women, girls, and other population need to participate in the design, management, monitoring, and evaluation of HIV prevention, care, and treatment. Next, in order to become agents of their own health and overall empowerment, programs must move beyond viewing them only as end users and beneficiaries and acknowledge and support their roles as principal actors and decision makers. We have health system strengthening to ensure capacity building. Multiple organizations can 1. Promote pre-service training in service, training and mentoring on gender issues for relevant professionals, support development of civil society organizations through building advocacy, administrative and technical skills to deliver and monitor high quality health and social services. Training of social law enforcement and members of the judiciary on law that promote gender equality and protect the rights of the women and girls. Country ownership multi-sectoral approach, promote linkages to programs outside the health sector, including the legal system, education, and food security. Integrate efforts to raise awareness among families, communities, and government decision making about the range and determinants influencing the health of men and women, girls and boys, addressing and respond to harmful practices including child marriage, forced marriage, FGM, and honor crimes. Community engagement. Community-based approach recommendations. 1. Engage community leaders, role models, and gatekeepers, including religious and tribal leaders. Next, work with local actors to identify cultural norms and practices that support HIV prevention, treatment, and care, as well as gender equality. The last point, employ community members in the provision of information and services. Thank you.